Why do PTSD caregivers suffer from compassion fatigue? Caring for someone with post-traumatic stress disorder can be incredibly demanding, and it often takes a toll on the caregiver's emotional health. When you are constantly exposed to a loved one's trauma and emotional struggles, it can lead to what is known as compassion fatigue. This happens because caregivers are repeatedly giving emotional support without enough relief or support for themselves. Over time, this persistent emotional effort can cause exhaustion, both mentally and physically. Unlike caregiver burnout, which comes from long-term stress and workload, compassion fatigue is more about secondary trauma. It's a response to witnessing or absorbing another person's trauma indirectly. When caring for someone with PTSD, caregivers often need to stay highly empathetic, tuning into their loved one's fears, flashbacks, and emotional pain. This sustained empathy can drain their mental energy quickly, especially if they do not have enough time or resources to recharge. Secondary traumatic stress is a big part of this. Caregivers might start to experience symptoms similar to PTSD themselves, such as anxiety, emotional numbness, or intrusive thoughts. This happens because they internalize the trauma of their loved one, feeling overwhelmed by the emotional weight they carry. Feeling powerless to change or improve the situation can make this even worse, leading to feelings of frustration and helplessness. Another factor is neglecting their own self-care. Many caregivers focus so much on their loved ones' needs that they forget to look after their own health. This neglect can increase their vulnerability to stress and exhaustion. If a caregiver has a personal history of trauma, they might be more prone to compassion fatigue because the caregiving situation can trigger unresolved emotional wounds. The emotional toll can show up as feelings of guilt, hopelessness, or frustration. Over time, caregivers might start to feel emotionally numb or lose their ability to empathize, which are common signs of compassion fatigue. This can make it harder to provide effective support and might lead them to withdraw or seek help. Support systems and community play a vital role here. When caregivers have access to emotional support, counseling, or peer groups, they can share their experiences and reduce feelings of isolation. Setting boundaries and practicing self-care are essential strategies to prevent or manage compassion fatigue. It's also important for caregivers to recognize when they need professional help to process their emotions and maintain their well-being. In summary, caregivers of people with PTSD often suffer from compassion fatigue because they are constantly exposed to trauma-related distress. The ongoing emotional demands, feelings of helplessness, and neglect of their own needs can overwhelm their capacity to cope. Recognizing these signs and seeking support can help caregivers protect their mental health while continuing to provide compassionate care. Always remember, caring for oneself is a crucial part of caring for others, and reaching out for help is a sign of strength. If you or someone you know is experiencing these feelings, consulting a mental health professional can provide valuable guidance and support.